All right. Right now, we're going to talk about the different properties of equality. We use these different properties of equality to help us better work out one-step equations. So the first one we're going to talk about is subtraction. The subtraction property of equality states if you subtract something on one side, you have to subtract something on the other side of the equal sign to make sure that the equation is true. So, for example, for the subtraction part, for the subtraction property of equality, let's just say we have x plus 17 equals 26. So, right now we are starting off with an addition problem. Because this is addition, and we're trying to figure out what x is, we have to do the inverse operation to figure out what x is. So, right now, we're going to be doing subtraction. Here's where the property comes in at. If we subtract 17 from this side, we have to subtract 17 from the other side as well. And the main goal into this, we have to have x. X needs to be by itself. So now that we subtract 17 from both sides, the 17s cancel out to make x by itself. And now we just do 26 minus 17, which is 9. Okay. So this right here is just an example of showing you what the subtraction property of equality is. You subtract something, if you subtract on one side, you have to subtract on the other side as well to make the equation true. Next, we're doing addition. Now, with addition, same thing with subtraction. If you add something on one side, you have to add it on the other side to make the equation true. So, let's say we start off with x minus 24 equals 63. This is starting off with subtraction. So just like the other problem, we have to do the inverse operation to get x by itself. And the inverse operation here is addition. So because we have to add on one side, we have to add 24 to the other side. That's the addition property of equality. You have to, whatever you add on one side, you have to add on the other side to make the equation true. So the 24s cancel out. Now we have x by itself. Now all we have to do is add 63 and 24. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and 6 plus 2 is 8. So our answer is x equals 87. So, right now, we just did two examples of what we could do, how we can use the subtraction property of equality and the addition property of equality. On this one, we had to subtract 17 from both sides. So we had to, if we subtract 17 from one side, we had to subtract 17 from this side. Same thing with the addition property of equality. We had to add 24 right here to get x by itself. So since we had to add 24 on this side, we had to add 24 on the other side as well to get what x equals. Next, multiplication property of equality. With the multiplication property of equality, whatever you multiply on one side, you have to multiply on the other side as well to make the equation true. So let's just say we have x over 12 equals 3. Well, that is the same as x divided by 12 equals 3. And because this is division, we will have to do the opposite operation to figure out what x is. And the opposite of division is multiplication. So we will have to multiply. We are going to multiply 12 on this side, and then multiply 12 on the other side. This is like saying 12x over 12. So 12 divided by 12, so 12 divided by 12 is 1. And the x is by itself. What I'm saying here is this would have been 12x over 12. So this is basically saying 12x divided by 12. The 12 will cancel out because 12 divided by 12 is 1. And 1 times x is just x. Now, on the other side, we have 3 times 12. 3 times 12 is 36. And 36 divided by 12 equals 3. So again, just like addition, just like subtraction, if you multiply something on one side, you have to multiply that same number on the other side to balance the equation out. Now last, we have division. Just like the other three, if you divide on one side, you have to divide on the other side to make the equation true. So if we have 8m equals 48, this 8m is the same thing as 8 times m equals 48. So since this is multiplication, we have to do the inverse of multiplication to figure out what m is. And the inverse is division. So whatever we divide on this side, we have to divide on that side to get m by itself. So we're dividing 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1, which also cancels out because 1 times m is m. So now we have m by itself over here. Well, now we have to do the same thing over here to make the equation true. 48 divided by 8 is 6. And just like the other three, whatever you divide on one side, you have to divide on the other side to make the equation true. That goes for all of these operations under the property of equality. Whatever operation you use on one side, you have to use it on the other side to make it true.